for most of my life, the mistake was that I wasn't authentic. So I made all this progress. I got onto self-improvement. I'm taking cold showers, doing all these things. And, I'm actually leveling up, leveling up my business and everything. And yet I haven't changed the way that I go on dates. I'm still acting like the same degenerate fuckboy when I go and meet these girls. I'm still like fucking in public, literally, like, so I had this night and day difference. I'm literally this self-improvement like YouTuber, which people started to respect. I had a few thousand subscribers, and I remember I'd go on a date with this girl, still acting like the same kind of alpha fuckboy personality when I go on a date. I'm laid back, open body language, even though I've become kind of aware to the fact that I'm quite an overthinker. I'm a deep person, I'm quite sensitive, but these things, I'm not going to show the real me to her. And so on the date, I'm pretending to be the exact same brain dead version of me, which I know gets me like a higher percentage of being able to sleep with these girls, the degenerate women I'd meet from like Tinder and stuff. And it works. I get into a relationship with this girl a few years ago, and I'm literally dating like a degenerate because I've pretended that I was a degenerate, because it was gonna be like more successful, for example, for me to like sleep with her. So imagine that I'm this guy who's on self-improvement, and here I am dating a girl who still drinks and takes drugs and parties. And there was this one particular moment. I wake up and start my morning routine at 5:30 a.m. It's still dark outside. It's 5:30 a.m. I've just woke up. I've taken a cold shower. I'm getting ready, and I text her, and she replies almost instantly at 5:30. Why was she awake? We know why I was awake. I woke up early because I went to sleep early so I could start my productive, CEO, entrepreneur morning routine. Why was she awake? She was coming back home from a party at that time. She hadn't even slept yet. She had a blood alcohol level of like fucking 7.6. Imagine that, like, if you imagine the split screen difference of me waking up and doing that to like whatever the fuck she was just doing over the last hour. I was just thinking, how are we compatible in any way? We're going in two separate directions. And it was a very painful experience to move on, because even though we were so different, even though I was inauthentic to get into this relationship, naturally when you spend time with a woman, and especially when you have sex with them, like, you do build some kind of emotional connection. And so it was very painful to leave this relationship. Not being authentic wasted months of my life in this relationship where I was just so distracted away from, I should have just been single and just fully focused on work. Because for you, the mistake that you could be making is that you're watching all of this like dating content online, you're watching red pill content, and you're realizing that there is a way that you will be more effective at sleeping with girls, at attracting like degenerate women. And it's to pretend that you're a degenerate. It's that, for example, like you've heard the standard advice, don't reply to a text slowly, don't reply to a text quickly, pretend to be more busy than you actually are, speak in this aloof way, and speak like this and talk like this, and act like this and do this. All these people are giving you advice after advice after advice, because if you follow that advice, you will be more successful with simply just sleeping with more women. And that's what every guy gets crazy about. But the truth is, you're like, it's a lot better if you sleep with the kind of woman who you're actually compatible with, who's actually a benefit to your life. Because you can go and sleep with these dirty degenerate women who are going to parties, fucking other guys. They've got other guys like semen inside of them, and here you are getting like, here you amongst all the fucking red pillars and dating coaches stood there like, oh yeah, any hole is a goal, bro. Oh, yeah, I'm a high value man, bro, give me that cigar. Like, all these fucking guys literally fucking the same stinky holes together. Or you can go and find the woman that you're actually compatible with, who you will literally benefit because she's in your life. You will literally make more progress in your goals if you find the woman who you can be authentic with. And your sex life with her will be a lot better. This is what no one online will tell you, because it's not as cool. What I'm telling you is like the anti-cool thing. I'd get a lot more views if I told you, yeah, go and fuck as many women, go and spin some plates, bro. I've done it. There isn't anything at the end of that pathway. And you might think, oh, well, Hamza, you've done it, so why are you telling us not to? With this one topic, this is where a lot of guys get insecure. If I'm telling you that I've made a mistake and I'm trying to save you from wasting time and energy and like fucking emotional damage from going down the route of a degenerate, there's a huge proportion of people who then think that I'm almost a bad person saying this because they're saying like, oh, but Hamza, you did it, so why, how are you telling us not to? Like, you're contradicting yourself. Do you understand, like, fucking basic common sense, how someone can tell you about their mistakes as if they've done it first? This is how we pass wisdom to each other. It's like I've tripped over and I've said, oh, watch out for that step, you might trip. And these fucking little wannabe degenerates around the world that comment and say like, oh, but you tripped. Why can't I trip too? Like, what the fuck? That the whole point is that you don't trip on the same rock, so that you can like get faster than me, and you can maybe trip on the rock all the way down there, and then tell the guy behind you not to trip on that rock. This is how we pass wisdom to each other, dumbass. So if you've got multiple guys telling you that the path of the degenerate, the path of these red pill guys who think that they're high value men in fucking, there isn't actually that much satisfaction being around stupid women. It sounds like common sense. It really is common sense, isn't it? But there isn't much satisfaction or fulfillment to your purpose as a man, fulfillment to your mission and your goals by being around stupid women who you have to act in a certain way around. So this is specifically for you as like the young guy who's gotten onto self-improvements. You still have ties to the normal world and the normal people around you. You still, to some people, pretend you're like a normal person who, for example, you'll dumb down how much you care about fitness. You'll dumb down the fact that you don't like want to drink anymore. You barely drink, but maybe you do when you go for a date or something. You dumb down these things that you actually care about, because you think that it'll make you more successful at getting this girl. But do you not see like the counterintuitive mindset there? That by you pretending to be someone that you're not, a lesser version of yourself, the woman that you attract when you're acting like this is into a guy who's like this. She's not into you. She's into like the degenerate version of you. So what do you think when you actually date this woman? Let's say you get the best case scenario and you can start having sex with her all the time. When you actually start spending more time with her, what's going to happen to your own development? Because you're just putting yourself in a state where you're lesser than you really are. Just because you might get some stinky hole from the girl who's also sleeping with a lot of other guys. And if you do get into a relationship, you'll realize that you've built it on this fake, false foundation. She'll realize that she's dating someone else that she thought she was. You'll realize that by acting and playing these games, you're dating a dumbass. You're dating the kind of girl who's attracted to the fuckboy degenerate, like a aloof version of you who doesn't text back facts, who sometimes ignores her messages. You're dating the girl who's attracted to you when you are distant from her. It's probably not the kind of relationship that you want. And so that's exactly the situation. By the way, I'm still in this morning routine texting her, and I've asked her, oh yeah, why are you awake? And she said, oh yeah, there was this outdoor rave, it was sick, you should have come. And I'm still pretending, I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds sick, yeah, maybe I should have, but she's like, why are you awake? And I kind of told her the truth, I said business. But fuck me, man. I was pretending to be like more of an idiot, because that was the only way that I could actually be around her and most women that I've ever dated, because I've always been like this. And things are very different now. When I met my current girl that I've dated since July, if you haven't watched it or listened to it yet, I have a Spotify podcast where I explained why we broke up. Well, I broke up with her like maybe about a month ago. And then I got back together and we made like a Spotify podcast. So you can search my name on Spotify if you haven't already. And like one of the most recent episodes of the podcast, we've kind of had like a 20-minute conversation where we explained it. Just in case you're curious. Wait, did you get back together? That's why. But yeah, 100% we did, yeah. So we met in July 2022. And from the start, I already knew that I was going to be authentic because I was done with playing these fucking games of pretending to be dumber than I am. It just sounds stupid now